Hi everyone, my name is Dario and I'm a professional dancer, retreat organizer, entrepreneur. And in the previous video, I've told you about how I manifested my life in France at 13 years old and how I came here at 17 all by myself. And in this video, I would love to talk to you about how I came from digital marketing, working as a financial company, to being a professional dancer, to becoming a professional dancer, living from my passion, also organize retreats, and doing really what I truly love. So, first, I want to tell you a little bit about my story. And when I came to France when I was 17, first, I spent 1 year in a host family, and it wasn't the super experience for the first 3 months, but then I changed the host family. It was much better, and I found a real family who invested the time on me and who taught me some French. And after that, I came back to Russia, and I had a choice: do I stay in Russia or do I continue my life in France? And I came back to France. And when I come back to France, when I come back to Russia, I was thinking, okay, what should I do? What do I really want? And I knew already back then that I want to be a professional dancer. And I came to my parents and I told to my dad that, Dad, I would love to be a professional dancer and go to the Moscow Conservatory. And he told me that this is not a profession, and there is only 1% of people who can succeed in it, and it's too risky. And at that time, I was upset, but I listened to my parents and I decided that okay, well, if you think that I'm not good enough to be a dancer, I will go to France. And at that time, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to do? I love traveling, I love exploring, I speak different languages, and I decided to go to the hospitality management school, Vatel, in the south of France. And my father, we had an agreement, as you remember, that he was supposed to help me for 3 years, and then I would choose if I come back to Russia or I continue my path in France all by myself without my parents' help. And I came to Nîmes and I was studying hospitality management for 3 years in the south of France. And it was very interesting, but at the same time, I felt that something was wrong. This experience taught me so much about how to work, how to realize myself better, but I felt that something was wrong, that it was not good enough, and that my soul is not moving towards my dreams. And I mentioned that whatever I was doing, because hospitality management taught me a lot how to work, how to manage people. I lived in Thailand, organized huge weddings of like 450 people, and it taught me so much to my future, to my present now. But at the same time, I was not living with my dreams. I was not following what I really was supposed to do. And that's like I was thinking, okay, what should I do after I finish my bachelor degree? This is logical that now I will do a master degree, or how I will stay in France otherwise. Because also as an expat it's always stressful if yes or no you will get a job to renew your documents, and it was stressful for me. So I decided to do my master degree kind of by accident, because I thought that I have no choice. And because it was logical choice to do at my age, at my state of life. And actually I was lucky to be the only one in my class for the master degree for my MBA in digital marketing to find an alternance. So in France, alternance is when you study. It's company who pays you actually the studies, and also who pays you a salary, because as you remember, my 3 years already expired, and my parents weren't helping me anymore. And I was working in a financial company as an event manager, and at the same time I was studying, and I lived in Paris. I moved to Paris at that time, and I hated it. To be honest, I really hated it because I didn't have my friends so much from the south of France. It was very different. I didn't like my university, to be honest. Like, it was useless. It was really useless university, and our teachers were not very interesting. They were not giving us interesting tasks, and I couldn't understand like what I'm doing here. And all my free time, I would literally only dance, 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 dance. I was taking classes all the time, and one day I was like sitting and working and not enjoying my life, because working in a financial company meant being surrounded by stress, being surrounded by people who, yes, they could win a lot of money, but at the same time, they would take drugs. They felt unhappy. They felt unhealthy, and was feeling that something was wrong. And like the moment when I was the happiest person is where it was when I was actually dancing, and that's why once I was like, searching in the internet different dance schools, and I found out a professional hip hop school that I remember that my first dance teacher in Russia advised me, just the school. And something shifted in my mind, and I was like, why not? But if you think it was easy decision, it wasn't, because my salary at that time was 1,000 euros in Paris, and half of that I was given to the rent. My parents were not helping. To win more, I was like teaching English classes, teaching Russian classes, giving bachata classes, because I still already had quite a good level in dance, but not professional. And I was like, well, I can try. I can try at least to pass an audition, and that's what I've done. I subscribed myself for audition, and I took this decision that if it's not now or never, and if I will pass this audition, I will change my life completely. And the day of the audition, I was so stressed out, and I was freaking out, honestly. I remember I came there, and imagine like from a hospitality management school, from financial company, arriving to the hip hop professional school, where like people have red hair, a lot of tattoos, a lot of music, a lot of fulfillment, like understanding that people can potentially live different life, made me really feel it, maybe really want it, and made me understand that I wanted the same life. So when I arrived to this audition, I was like, okay, now I have to give everything. And I remember the director was passing my audition, and I was so stressing out. And you know what? I received the letter a few days later that I was accepted. It was a day when I was like working in the office, and suddenly received this letter that yes, you're accepted for the audition, and now I can make it. And I was literally jumping on my chair in the office. And at the same day, I came to my manager and I said, listen, this is the situation. I have a dream. I want to be a professional dancer. And I passed the audition. I was accepted. So I know that you enjoy working with me. And you know what's very important. Whatever you're doing, you have to do it good. You have to be good in whatever job you're doing, because when I was event manager, or when I was a waiter, when I was a bartender, when I was a like English teacher, I was good in it because I knew that this is super valuable skill to do whatever you're doing well, and it will, it's worth it because it pays off. So I came to my manager and I said, this is a situation. I like working with you, but I can only work with you in the future as a freelancer. But I need a salary because I need to take a credit, I need to take a loan to pay my school, and I need to live. And for me, it was like, okay, if I don't get the credit if I don't get a freelance job from the job where I was working at, I wouldn't be able to do it, because when I called to my dad and I asked for help because I wanted to study, he said like, I would help you for other studies, but not for dance. And I loved my dad very much. And this, like, when our parents don't allow us to do artistic careers, I think it's normal because they're just so scared for us. And they're not scared for nothing, it's not easy. And my manager told me at the time, like, Dari, it's not possible to have a normal salary, like, and be a freelancer. When you're a freelancer, your salary is not constant. So I was like, okay, then I have to quit. And the day after, I came to the office. Oh, I don't remember if I said I want to gonna quit. No, I didn't say I want to quit, but I just said like, okay. And the day after I came, and my manager told me, Daria, I talked to the team, and they really like what you're doing. They really like your job. You're very professional. You do what you say, and we want to keep it with your conditions. And imagine, like, in my mind, I was like, this is crazy. I can have a salary, I can do professional dance school, and I went to ask for into the bank for credit for the loan, and nobody wanted to give it to me. So I only have like challenges all over, all over, all over. And I remember I was like, I cannot pay school because I have no money. My parents cannot help me, don't want to help me, and what should I do? I was so desperate, and I went to the last bank and I explained my dream, how it was, with all my heart, and I got it. And I got this this credit. It was like around 5,000 euros, not so much, but still for me it was a lot. So, but the only reason they gave it to me because I told them that I'm gonna pay it off directly. So it was very challenging for me, because I had to study, and when you're in a dance school, I needed to really like go into the dance classes every day, and I was dancing 35 hours per week. And we had like not only hip hop, we had hip hop, break dance, we had ballet, tap dance, jazz, all the kind of dances, nutrition, and it was very difficult because I was not only dancing as all the students. I also had to at the same time work as a freelancer, and in the weekends I work as a bartender. But I would never take another decision. And if you're thinking now about changing your life, about quitting, about starting the career of your dream, at that time I was 22. I'm 28 now. So it wasn't such a long time ago. And this is incredible because I was so scared. And often I hear from people, yes, I want to change my life, but I'm afraid that I will not be able to. But you know what? The fear is something totally normal because if we're not scared, it means that our dream is not big enough. But at the same time, if we let our fears lead our life, you're not going to go anywhere. And a few days ago, I read this phrase: if you're riding a bicycle and it's getting hard, it means that you're going up. So at the same time, so it's the same thing in life. If it's getting hard, it means that you're going up, you're growing. And if you're going down and you feel like everything is easy, you're staying in your comfort zone, it means that you're not going anywhere, or maybe you're going down. And for me, it was always like my motto in life: you have to get out of your comfort zone, do the stuff you're not comfortable to do in the first place. And I also believe that all of that happened because I truly believed in myself, and I truly, even though I had no confidence in myself in dancing, I knew that our reality can be managed, and I knew that if I wanted something, it is possible. If these thoughts appears in your mind, it means that you can. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it wasn't painful for me. It was because 0 days I had no money to eat. I had no money to take a metro ticket, but at the same time, it made me so strong, and I have never regretted this decision because I always say also that it's better to do things and fail than regret that you have never tried and wonder what would happen if. So at that time, I remember when I was working a lot, it was very hard. COVID happened after the first year and a half in my university. It was very difficult for me, and physically, morally, because I didn't really do hip hop before. I didn't even do hip hop freestyle before. But I was not desperate. I was training a lot. I was trying to take advices from my director, from the teachers, and I knew that this is the right thing to do. I felt that my soul was aligned with what I'm finally doing. And when COVID started, a lot of people started to panic. A lot of people in my career, in artistic careers, as a dancer, as a teacher, it's hard. It was hard. But in my mindset, it has always been okay. I have issues. I have some problems that I'm facing, but I have two choices: leave it there, come back to my country, come back to Russia, to my teeny village, or stay here and think about what different solutions you can find. And the solutions usually I found in stillness, I found in meditation, I found in dancing. Because imagine the glass of water. If it's full, you cannot put any fresh water inside. In order to put any fresh water inside, you have to take off old water from the glass. And this is the same with our thoughts. If you cannot find solutions, if you continue to think, if you continue to work on it, if you continue to stress, and if you continue to feel the anxiety, nothing is going to change because there is no space in your head for any new ideas and for any new solutions. And that's why the practices like meditation, like breath work, it's just emptying our glass. It's emptying our glass of old water, of old thinking, into new way of thinking, into new behaviors, and it helped me very much. And even in the darkest and the hardest moment of life, when I had no money, when I was struggling, when I didn't know what my future is about, I was writing in my journal. I was visualizing myself being happy, being a famous dancer, winning money with dance, and I have never regretted this decision. I hope that you enjoyed, and uh, maybe it inspired you a little bit more. And also in the next video, I would love to tell you a little bit more of how I actually created my personal brand, because thanks to the personal brand, thanks to the social media, I could live from my profession. I have never worked on other dance schools. I created my own school. I created my own community. I created my social media during COVID that helped me in the future. I will also tell you in the next stories how it helped me to create retreats and bring people from all over the world to join my retreats, to trust me without never seeing me. And I will tell you more about the power of personal brands, especially for artistic careers, because, well, I'm an artist, but to actually any type of the careers of anything crazy you want to do. Because if you have a desire to make something come true, make it happen. Stop finding excuses. Stop looking for why not, and start looking for how. How can I make it work? How can I find the solutions? And I have a very strong character, because maybe because I'm Russian, maybe because I grew up not in a very easy way, but sometimes in France I have a feeling that people are used to easy life, easy the things that have to come themselves in their lives. That if it's getting hard, you have to abandon your dreams. But for me, if something is getting hard, you can always find a solution. You can always work harder to get what you want. And also, I think the moment of understanding what you really want is very important. And soon I will upload a meditation that can help you to understand what is your true desires are, and how you can get closer to the state of mind to make it happen. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that my story maybe could help you think about making a change in your life. And also think about, what if your life would be a Netflix series, Netflix movie? Would people watch it until the end? Or would they abandon it right away? I believe that we have to live our life because we only have one life. Like the most interesting movie. Try things, create things, fail, grow higher and higher, succeed, and be crazy, be be different, understand your personality, discover yourself, and try new things. Like I'm trying this YouTube channel. And so, if you enjoyed it, if you want to know more about my artistic paths and how it can help you to reach your goals and personal brands development, dance, high heels, and so on, just click the subscribe button. I will upload here the videos every week to really show more my personality, inspire you, and help you to get higher, get stronger, and create beautiful life you deserve.